Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Today I'm going to be doing another watch review or a watch unveil. And today I'm going to be doing one, nope, not from Invicta Aragon, but from a new company I've been working with called Alexander. And Alexander is a sister company or brother company, if we're using the correct name, of another very well-known watch company. And they're basically rebranding a few of their watches and coming out with several new different styles. This company I would consider more of your higher-end, higher quality, dress watch design. Whereas a lot of the Invictas tend to focus more on like the dive style watches. This is more of a dress watch, whether it be on a bracelet particular band or a leather strap or whatnot. They also make a women's line as well, which have some very interesting pieces, which I'll be reviewing those at a later date. But today I just wanted to review another men's watch from Alexander. Now this one here could actually be unisex because it's not a really large watch, measuring at 40 millimeters. It's definitely something in today's day and age that a woman can wear. A lot of women are wearing a lot of watches, such as like the watches by Michael Kors and whatnot, especially in the rose tone, which is what I'm going to show you today. Which this is definitely, I would consider a unisex watch. It's definitely for the man who likes a smaller dress watch and a woman who may like a larger style watch. And it's a beautiful, beautiful timepiece. If you haven't checked out Alexander, definitely check them out. I'll put links in the description where you can check out their product. They make a very, very exceptionally high-end watch. When I say high-end, I don't mean to compare it to, say, something in the $5,000 price range like your Rolexes or your Omegas. However, it's more of a kind of a watch you can get into the price point for about the $1,300 mark with an exceptional movement in a lot of their watches. And just a level of quality that you're not going to really, I guess, I consider this watch to be something that would be competing with, or this brand, competing with like Rolex or Omega for a much cheaper price, of course. So you're getting a really high-end quality watch with some really, really interesting design aspects. And so the watch I'm going to show you today is definitely what I consider a dress watch on a bracelet band. It's done in rose tone with kind of a white silvery face, and I'll show you that in just a second. I'll also show you how Alexander presents their watches, and give you an idea of what I think, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the wrist. Now, I haven't sized this one yet, which normally I'll size them before I wear them, so just kind of bear with me today. This is just my first unveil of this particular watch design or model, and I will be re-reviewing these at a later date as I get to know them more and kind of see how they hold up, and so I can give you guys honest reviews for when you guys spend your hard-earned money to see my video. I want to make sure you're getting a good product, okay? And so let's start with the presentation, okay? Alexander puts all their watches in kind of a cardboard blue box, which I have over on this side of the room. I'm not going to show you that today. But all their watches come in this beautiful, beautiful piano black, high gloss, all wood construction box. The top has got the Alexander logo, kind of done in like a chrome finish. And this is like a stitched velvet pad, which kind of mimics what like suede would look like, or like microfiber basically. When you open up the watch box, of course, you have this beautiful interior that matches that same color in that royal blue, and of course the pillow for the watch, which is keeps the watch in the box, of course. So that's about it with the construction. Very, very nice display. I remember when I first got these watches from Alexander, I was and I opened up the box, I was shocked at how nice it was, because a lot of the other watches I purchased in my collection, such as the Invictas and the Aragons, Aragon does a better job, in my opinion, than Invicta at the presentation. And I was very impressed with their presentation of their particular brand. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull the watch out. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the watch, show you some close-ups, and then show you the best I can what it looks like on the wrist. Now, one thing I've said about the Alexander watches, I'm used to wearing a very, very large, over-the-top, huge timepiece, right, by Invicta and Aragon, So watches that are this small tend to, when I pick up a watch, I guess, tend to feel very lightweight. And what's very surprising with the Alexander brand is that even though this watch is only 40 millimeters, it does have considerable heft to it. And I believe that's due to the quality of the materials they use and just the quality of the construction. The band feels tight. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of slop or play in it, this is not the first watch that I've reviewed by Alexander. The other ones are no exception to that rule. The bands just feel tight and well made, and there's definitely a heft to it for a watch of this size. This particular one that I'm showing you today is actually called, I'll give you a model number as well, and I'll put a link in the description for all this stuff, okay? This is called the Macedon, A111B, okay? And there's 4 different variations of this particular model. As you can see, I'm doing this one here in the rose tone with the white face. They make it with the rose tone and black face. They make it all silver with the same color face, the white, and they make it all silver with the black face. Let me go ahead and show you a couple close-ups here. Again, you have a 40 millimeter case diameter. That's not including the crown, of course. Beautiful, beautiful band on this as well. And it's very tight. There's not a lot of play in the band. You can just feel the quality. Very, very nice construction. So a little bit about the watch. Specifications on this particular one here are alpha hands with luminous fill. That's not on the markers. It's just going to be on the hands, okay? You have a step 2-layer bezel, which you can kind of see that kind of steps down on 2 steps right there. A little hard to see by the video, but with my camera, of course, I mean. You do have a sapphire crystal. That's something only found on much more higher-end watches. A lot of the, not to downplay any of the other watches out there that I collect, but they tend to not use sapphire because it's more expensive. It's much more scratch-resistant than anything else out there. You have your push-pull crown, of course, which on this particular one is not a screw-down crown. It's just a push-pull. This is powered by a Ronda 715 movement. And those of you who don't know who Ronda is, Ronda makes quartz and automatic movements, but they mainly make quartz movements for watches, which are battery powered, but they're actually Swiss-made movements. So Ronda's been around a really long time. They make a really, really great movement, okay? You do have 165 feet of water resistance. You have your embossed stainless steel patterned case back. I don't know if you can kind of see that with the Alexander logo in the middle. What else here? Okay, so as you have seconds and date on this particular one and the time, naturally. And as far as the jewels, it does have 1 jewel. So I assume they probably put that on, I guess, a part of the movement that's going to get the most wear. A lot of the other Ronda ones do have more jewels in them. This one's a little bit, little less on that, but doesn't mean it's not a great quality movement at all for what you're, for what you're paying for this. What else about the watch here? That's pretty much about it. Warranty on this here is 2 years. It looks like, from what I can tell, Alexander puts a 2-year warranty on all their watches, which is pretty good. Most manufacturers go only about a year on that. Let's start getting involved in like the Invicta Reserve line, which will give you 5 years. But I can tell you, this company is great. If you have a problem with them, it's not going to take. There's not going to be a huge turnaround time. They're going to take care of the problem very, very quickly. So once again, that's the Macedon, excuse me, by Alexander. Also, I failed to mention, it does have a dual deployment fold-over clasp, which I really, really like. It feels secure. It locks secure. I love clasps like this. I've said it before in a few of the videos, I wish Invicta did more clasps like this. I just feel like they take a better bite, and I just feel like they're not going to fall off your wrist under any circumstances. So that's a really nice feature. Go ahead and give you a couple more close-ups of the watch. You kind of have a brushed finish on the bottom of the case and the sides, and then, of course, your bezel has mirror polishing, as well as the face of the band, of course, and you have your rose tone markers. And the band naturally has got looks like a satin finish on the sides. And what's interesting with this particular one, which I really, really like, there's not actually push pins on this to actually size the watch. They're actually threaded screws, which I think is a great, I mean, they all hold the watch together, but I really like to see threaded screws on watches. It just seems like there's just a level of, I guess, a little more machining and involvement in the manufacturing process. Now, as far as price point on this one here, this can be had right now on the website for $840. I'll put a link in description. Keep in mind, like I said before, they all play the game as far as, retail pricing, MSRP and whatnot. It's just like automobiles, you go into a car lot, you'll see a car priced at, 35 grand MSRP, double sticker, and then that's where you work your deal from there. So same thing with this company, and Invicta does the same thing. $840 if you sign up with your coupon, or they have a coupon, we sign up with your email address, they'll give you half off. And I do notice that the price kind of fluctuates on the website depending upon the day. Let me just double check something here. So looks like as of right now, yeah, it looks like there is a coupon. So yeah, so you're going to want to take advantage of that coupon, which you'll get half off by signing up with your email address. So this watch realistically can be had for about what was it there? Where'd it go? I lost it, guys. So about $420. I'm not sure if that's shipped or not, but I will put links in description where you can pick this stuff up, if not directly from the manufacturer, through some of my other links. I'm working with the manufacturer right now to actually get specific trackable links for my particular videos, but that's coming down the road. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on the wrist. I'm about 165 pounds. I'm about 5'7". I weigh, I'm sorry, my wrist is about a 7-inch wrist, so all these watches look pretty big on me. I'll go ahead and pop the deployment class. But again, I didn't size this one yet. I just was excited to get another video out today for my contact over there, Alexander. So I'm just going to hold it on the wrist. But remember, I will be coming back and re-reviewing these watches at a later date once I have time to wear the watch and get to know the watch and just kind of, judge, see what the quality is like over, several months and just, kind of go from there. So stay tuned. I will be re-reviewing these, and next time this will be sized, okay? So here's the watch on the wrist. Very, very classy design. I absolutely love that multi-link bracelet. There's a lot of parts in that bracelet, and I think it really, really shines. It's got a beautiful rose tone finish. Definitely a very, very classy watch. These are the kind of watches you would wear with a suit. These are the kind of watches you wear with a dress shirt. Not to say you can't wear these watches like I'm dressed now with jeans and a t-shirt, but this is the kind of watch that, and I've said it before in my videos, the Invicta watches, some of the ones that I wear, the big ones, those wouldn't necessarily be fitting for, let's say, a job interview or a business meeting. You might want to downplay something with a little more what I would consider class. And not to say that the Invictas, you guys know I love Invicta watches, but I love all watches in general. But this is the kind of watch, if you just want to be, you just want to have a level of sophistication, a level of class, and a level of quality on your wrist, this is the company you want to go with. I love that rose tone finish. I don't have many rose tone watches in my collection. I'm really glad I have this one because it's going to give me a chance to kind of wear a rose tone watch and see how I feel about it, which I like rose tone personally, but I just don't have a lot. I always go with the yellow gold. Just a spectacular band on this watch. It really, really is beautiful. I'll kind of get back. Now, some people wear watches a little looser. This is the kind of watch you could wear a little bit looser. I tend to wear my watches pretty tight because a lot of the Invictas are really big and you don't want them flopping around. Whereas this is the kind of watch you could wear more of like, I guess more like a bracelet with a little bit play in there and have it hang on your wrist a little bit lower. I do tend to wear my watches tight on the wrist. That's just kind of how I like them. But if you're the type of person that wears it, I've even seen some people wear it like this where it's got a lot of slack in there, which I think is personally just too much for me. But it is the kind of watch you can wear with a little bit of slack. Alright guys, well that's my first review of the Alexander Macedon Model A111B, done in the rose tone with white face. Tell me what you guys think about this watch. I think it's, the company's doing some really great things. I think they make, like I said, a really, really very, very nice dress style watch. And so far this is my third review of some of the company's watches. And it won't be my last, that's for sure. I have a whole slew of watches here on my desk that I need to review, so I wanted to at least get one out today before I meet up with my girlfriend. And tell me what you guys think. If you want to check out the company, which I think you should, if you're, you follow my videos in the past and you have trusted my recommendations on watches, definitely, just because, you like the big watch thing doesn't mean you can't have watches for different occasions. And I have to tell you, I'm really, really happy and really, really excited that I have this this opportunity with Alexander watches because, I have gravitated away from smaller watches, and this kind of brings me back a little bit. Not to say I'm not going to be buying my Invictas and my Aragons. Matter of fact, I'm going to have more Aragons coming next week, but it's just nice to have a different variety and different style. And people always say to me sometimes, because I have 3 cars, right? And so I have a Jag, I have a Toyota Solara, and an Accord Coupe. And they're older, 2003, 2006. But I love them, and I bought the vehicles because I just like the body lines. It doesn't matter how old they are. My Honda is, gosh, I can't believe it, 17 years old. And I like the car just as much now as when I got it. And I just look at the car, it amazes me it's 17 years old. And my point is, some people are like, oh, why don't you sell all 3 and get a brand new one, a brand new high-end one? Well, because I don't want a brand new high-end one, for one. I don't want to go sell 3 cars, get ripped off, and then go ahead and buy one, I want the new Jag, but I'm not willing to part with the cars I really, really love. That's kind of how I feel about watches. Just because one may be cheaper or older, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate them and like to, enjoy them and wear them just as much. It kind of takes me, I always say, I was joking with my coworkers the other day, the watches for me is like a timeline, no pun intended, right? Because I remember each time I got a watch, and whether it was a gift from somebody, whether it was a meaningful point in my life, a low point in my life, there's always a story with every single watch. And it's really fun to go through my watch box and look at it and say, oh, I remember when I got this one. I remember, the first time I wore it to that, I had a doctor's appointment, I wore the Hydromax. Somebody's like, whoa, that thing's huge, And so there's always a story with all these watches. So it's really great to be able to wear something and to try something out that's a little bit of a different style that I'm used to wearing. and I'm having a great time with it. So Alexander Watches, thank you so much for your generosity. I do appreciate everything you've done and allowed me to review your product and sending me all this great stuff. They will be enjoyed, of course, and they will be worn. And I'll keep these reviews coming, guys. Stay tuned. Like I said, stay tuned for more videos. I have a couple other companies I'm working with for a couple other different style watches. They'll be sending me a couple in the next couple of weeks, I believe. Stay tuned for all that. Remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting a lot more content up. We're going to do side-by-side comparisons. I'm never going to stop with these videos. So remember to subscribe. Remember to click the bell icon under that subscription link so that anytime I upload a video, you're notified. It's through your email that I've uploaded a video. This way you can stay in the know as far as what I'm doing and what products or watches I'm reviewing. And what else? Remember, if you want to help support the channel, you're interested in any of these products that I review and share with you guys, I always put a link in the description where you can pick this stuff up from the most reputable sellers and the places where I pick up my watches from. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, have a great day.